Welcome, sports fans, to Wildcat Gameday preview. I'm Lawerence Price alongside Jess, Viti. Jess, thank you for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Lawerence. I'm excited to be here virtually, of course.
Of course. So Northwestern is coming off a big 27-20 win against the Purdue Boilermakers last week, placing them 4-0 for the first time since 1996. So Jess, they were 1-3 last year after 4 games, and now they're unbeaten after 4 games this year. What is one aspect of the team that you think has been on point, especially in the Purdue game?
Yeah, so I think when you look at that Purdue game, there's one thing that really stood out to me as being kind of incredible. So I'm going to start with the rushing defense. Right now, they're number 8 ranked, and they're only allowing 3.56 yards per rush. And, they really stifled Purdue in that game. They held them to just 2 yards rushing, which is crazy. They've got Patty Fisher, Blake Gallagher, Chris Bergen as the linebacker squad, and they've got 103 total tackles between themselves. And I would say, as a whole, the defense is performing exceptionally well, much better than that 1-3 team from last year in those first 4 games. So I would say, you look at how they held, potential All-American David Belt under 100 yards receiving. So, in the month of October, he was averaging 11 yards per catch, and, we held him to just 8.7 yards per catch. Right now, we're number 7 in the country in points allowed, number 11 in total defense. And so, that's great. But then, of course, Wisconsin is number 1 in both of those metrics. That being said, Northwestern's opponents are 7-2, while Wisconsin's opponents are combined 2-6. So I think when you look at our defense, we're poised for a pretty good matchup.
Couldn't agree more with you, Jess. Now looking forward, Northwestern faces a 2-0 Wisconsin Badgers team this week at home. Undoubtedly the biggest game of the season for both teams to this point in their seasons. So Jess, although Wisconsin has only played 2 games this season due to COVID-19 complications, whether it be offense or defense, what makes this team such a dangerous threat?
Yeah, and I think it's kind of hard to choose. I think the team is so well-rounded. They're dominant on both offense and defense. But I guess I'll go with their offense because they've outscored their opponents 94-18, which is an incredible margin. And, Graham Mertz has been a breakout star for them. With Jack Cohn out, of course. So in his first game against Illinois, his QBR was a 94.9 with 5 touchdowns and a 95.2% completion percentage. So yeah, I think they've just been very productive and very efficient. Again, that being said, they have only played 2 games. And so I think that although Wisconsin will be the toughest team that Northwestern has faces thus far, I completely agree. Northwestern is going to be the toughest face Wisconsin has had to face so far. So I think if they want to win versus Northwestern, they're going to have to earn it. And I don't think Wisconsin has really had to earn it that much so far. That's what Graham Mertz said, and that's what I'm going to go with.
So it's safe to say that the Cats have their biggest battle ahead of them this week. But the good news is the Cats have won 5 of their 6 last home games against Wisconsin. So who needs to be on their A game for the Northwestern Wildcats to move to 6 wins in their last 7 games against the Wisconsin Badgers?
Yeah, I think it's funny that you mentioned that because I don't think Wisconsin has really played all that well at Ryan Field in recent years. So, in regards to your question though, who needs to step up? I think it's the rushing attack that needs to step up. You've got Isaiah Bowser and Drake Anderson. When we're looking at that Purdue game, right, they only had 33 yards between them rushing. So it's been consistent so far. And Wisconsin has a great defensive line. They're number 6 against the run, allowing only 178 rushing yards this season, much better than Purdue. Northwestern is ranked, 56 with only 696 rushing yards, and they're only averaging 3.6 yards per rush. So I think it's safe to say that that's where Northwestern needs to step up. And, if they do step up, if they do upset Wisconsin, they have a lot of possibilities in front of them so far to say they could potentially end up in the college football playoffs. So that's really exciting. And I think that, given all that's on the line with this game, I do think that, Northwestern will step up to the plate.
I'm glad you mentioned the college football playoffs, as the winner of this game most likely will be the winner of the Big Ten West. So, Jess, what are your predictions for this game?
Yeah, so, I'm not really a betting woman. I just kind of go with, what I feel in my gut. And given what we talked about with Northwestern kind of being better against Wisconsin in Ryan Field, I think that Northwestern has a pretty good chance to win this game. So I predict that Northwestern is going to pull off an upset, but maybe that's just because I like to root for an underdog. So yeah, that's what I'll go with, Northwestern.
You heard her prediction. She has the underdog Cats winning the game. This was Wildcat Game Day Preview. I'm Lawerence Price with Jess Viti. Thank you.